Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy to be back. We're gonna start today with a video topic that might or might not be relevant to you. Who knows? We'll see. If you're a woman that is in conservative spaces, that may be expressing opinions, you might have encountered this. And hopefully if you're a man, you are not the type that is saying these things, but it is the internet. We find all types of crazy opinions. We find all types of angry opinions. We find all types of bitterness and of confusion. So it is what it is. Whenever I get very angry comments to my videos, I have to think about what my intention was on creating that video. And I also think about the types of people that might be writing these comments. And immediately, I just feel a lot better. So that helps if you ever deal with trolls, even if you're a private person. We have all dealt with angry comments online, especially on comment sections, which is why I don't try to argue on comment sections anymore. Because, especially on Instagram. Anyways, regardless. Should conservative women or traditional women get off the internet, get off social media? Let's get into the video. For a while now, I have been reading comments on Instagram, on Telegram, and other social media platforms from men to women telling them that if they are truly traditional or if they are truly conservative, they should get off the internet, that they should get off Instagram, that they should not have a profile there. That if they're on there, that de facto means they're just simply not traditional enough. I've seen this as a theme repeated on Red Pill, Manosphere spaces, and in comment sections of more conservative leaning channels and conservative leaning accounts. Not so much on YouTube, I will say, but still happens. I've seen this types of comments levied at women that have a private profile with a very modest picture of themselves, or a private profile with a picture of themselves and their husband, and at women that are somewhat public figures in the conservative space. And so it definitely made me think about this topic for a while. Would a true traditional conservative woman not use social media or the internet? What do you think? Frankly, I just, I didn't see the connection, guys. I didn't see the connection. So I think about my grandmother, who is 91 years old, just turned 91, who was married to my grandfather until he passed, who has 6 children, has many grandchildren, and many more great-grandchildren. Some of them are around now, and many are still to come. And I wonder, would Koki, my grandmother, that's not her name, that's her nickname, but would Koki use social media? And the answer is yes. Yes, she would, because she has an Instagram. She has an Instagram. Why? Because she loves community. She loves creative work. She loves photographs. She loves meeting and connecting with people. Now, of course, she was in her 80s when she first created her Instagram account. So she's not exactly super savvy on it. But she does have the account, and she does explore and try to like photos here and there. And I think if Instagram had been around when she was in her 20s, you bet she would have used it. Because she sees social media as something that is morally neutral. Now, what you do with it, that's a different story. And I agree with her. So maybe my grandmother of 91 years old is simply not traditional enough. Maybe we have to go further back in time, where there were no laundry machines, no cars, no microwaves, no dishwashers, no electric stoves? Is it using technology that's the problem? Or is it specifically using the internet and social media? Now, some would argue that social media is actually a feminine space. And quite frankly, I wouldn't think that it is fair to say to the men that are on there that they are feminine by using it. It is a tool, after all. But social media is in fact dominated by women. It is a space dominated by women. This should not be surprising to anyone. So let's look a little bit, let's look to the data a little bit. According to an article by the magazine Brandwatch, they said, quote, several key studies on social media revealed an insight that we've long suspected. Women dominate this territory. They also said that there are more women in top social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and Pinterest. Frankly, the Twitter one surprised me a little bit. There was another survey that said it was actually the opposite on Twitter. Regardless, I wanted to share that just in case. Women use social media more often daily. 30% of online US women check their social sites several times a day versus 26% of online US men. Women interact with brands more often. 55% of online US women access deals compared to just 36% of online US men. 58% of those who consume news in social media are women. Okay, news. Women drive the trend towards visually oriented social sites such as Instagram, Tumblr, and Pinterest, which are the three fastest growing social media networks today. And while women dominate these three sites, it's Pinterest that showcases to what extent women crave for visually oriented social sharing. 33% of online US women use this network. For men, it's only 8%. So that's the data. That's the surveys. That's what, I could find online on this topic. So the argument could be, well, those women who are using those platforms are simply not conservative enough or not traditional enough. And I have to ask, why? Why aren't they? It is clearly a more social nature that drives women to these spaces. So using social media is definitely not against a more feminine nature. Who is to say that if women 100 years ago had access to this technology, they wouldn't have used it? A lot of women share information using social media. They share recipes, they share skincare routines, they share outfit inspiration, they share tips on parenting. They share their thoughts and opinions about the world. It used to be the case that women would do all of these things in women's groups that happened in person. And, to an extent they still do. But also family gatherings, other community events. But our modern world has us a little bit more disconnected, more atomized, I would say. We are more disconnected from our neighbors and our family, which is a real shame. But it is only natural that women en masse have taken up social media to connect with others. The idea that a traditional woman would not use it is a bit naive. Maybe the reason they would not use it would be that they're too busy sewing their children's clothing or making bread from scratch, cleaning all the clothes by hand, but not because they wouldn't if they had the time for it. According to those metrics, the women would not use social media. Wouldn't you think that traditional women should not be using the washing machine, the electric stove, the microwave, the dishwasher, among other things, among other new technology that has made women's lives a little bit easier and less, and we spend less time on housework now because of this. So how traditional must we go? We should accept the fact that we live in a modern society, so the tools and problems that face us are different. What we choose to do with those tools and whether things are dignified, well, that is quite a different thing. I talked with my fiance about this, and I told him about that type of rhetoric that I've seen online, and he really believes that it's mostly trolls. So I might just be talking about this for nothing, but if it is mostly trolls, it is coming from somewhere. That sentiment is still coming from somewhere. So I still had to say something for my own peace of mind. So thank you for watching. As I said, something I had on my mind. I have links of natural and conservative brands in the description, like Ben Soap and Organic Darlings. Organic Darlings is from someone that has been a mutual follower of mine, an online friend of mine for a while, who created a brand on skincare because she wanted natural skincare. So I have the link below in the description if you want to check those out. And also I have my own Amazon storefront now with products I like and I use, and books that I've read that I found very interesting. So if you want to check those out, in the description. With that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.